Companies need to protect their REST API in such a way that it's secure but still allow many consumers to access them. In the old days, consumer enter username and password, and application would log in directly as certain user. This raised the delicate authorization problem, or this question. How can I allow an application to access my data without necessarily giving it my password? This is where OAuth 2 takes place. OAuth 2 provides a way for application to gain limited access to a protected resources, something like bank account balance or any other sensitive information a user might wish to access from an application. But to get those data, user does not need to give their login credentials to the application. I know it's confusing. Think it like this. For your vacation, you book and pay for the hotel. Then, you arrive at the hotel. However, you don't want to give your credit card details. So, you go to front desk, telling your reservation number for validation. The hotel staff check their registration list and confirm that you are in their silver holiday package. Since you already registered, you fill out a little administrative paper, then hotel staff give you access card based on your purchased holiday package. By using this access card, you can go to your room, swimming pool, and gym. But you cannot go to the VIP beach since you don't purchase that package. In OAuth 2 terms, you are the client, the application that needs access to protected resource. Hotel is the resource owner. This is generally the person or entity who is capable of granting access to a protected resource. For example, if an application needs to use data from one of Company Z's social media sites, then Company Z is the resource owner, the only person who can grant the app access to Company Z data. Registration list is the authorization server. It is responsible for validating authorization grants and issuing the access token that give the application access to the user's data on the resource server. Hotel rooms is the resource server. It is the resource that needs to be protected by resource owner and can be given to certain application which has appropriate authorization. Bedroom, gym, or VIP beach is the protected resource. It is the data owned by resource owner. The hotel reservation number is authorization grant. It gives the application permission to retrieve an access token on behalf of the end user. OAuth 2 defines 4 specific grant types. Hotel access card is access token, a long string of characters that serve as a credential used to access protected resources. This usually has limited time and scope. The hotel also provides vacation package. Depends on the package, you can access certain facilities. These facilities called as scope on OAuth 2 terms. Means, depends on your access token, you can only access certain scopes. For example, read only certain data or ability to read all data but limited create data capabilities. Technically speaking, this is the brief overview of OAuth 2 flow. Depends on the authorization grant, the diagram might slightly different, but this is the overall flow. The client application requests an authorization to user, which gives certain authorization grant along with OAuth credential, usually consists of client ID and client secret. We will see the 5 types of OAuth 2 grant later. Using given authorization grant, client ID, and client secret, client requests for access token. Using valid access token, client application hit backend. The backend itself does not validate access token, but since backend is know that it is part of OAuth2 flow, it will require validation from authorization server. There are 5 grant types on OAuth2: authorization code, implicit, password, and client credentials. And the 5th is refresh, which sometimes does not considered as flow. Let's see each of them. Authorization code is considered as most secure for OAuth2 flow. Actually, you might already seen this many times. When you go to website and log in with Google, you will see a Google window that requests specific access, like access to read your Google Drive or access your profile. That is the visible form of OAuth2, and I will use it to describe the flow. You use application X, which needs read access to your Google Drive. On the application X, you log in using X credential and access the function that requires Google Drive. At this point, application X needs access to Google Drive API to access your data, which is secured with OAuth2. So, the application X opens Google login windows, which is of course owned by Google. There, you need to log in using username and password Google, but application X itself never know your Google credential. When you log in using your Google account, there will be some scope required. In this case, read access to your Google Drive. This is commonly known as consent screen for the Google data you own. By login, you as the resource owner authorize access for application X to your Google Drive only for read as defined on scope. Application X then get authorization code that it can use to negotiate an access token with the authorization server. Using this authorization code, application X then get access token for certain scope. Now, since application X has access token, application X can use this token to communicate with Google API, and you can work at application X using Google Drive. This grant type is considered highly secure because the application X never handles or sees the user's username or password for the resource server. In this case, application X never sees or handles your Google credentials. This grant type flow is also called 3-leg OAuth. To implement this grant, the resource owner, Google in the example above, must provide some kind of login screen with certain scope requested. This grant is suitable if you open API to third-party application which is not under your control. If you are using the authorization code flow in a mobile app or any other type of application that cannot store a client secret, then you should also use the PXE extension, which provides protections against other attacks where the authorization code may be intercepted. The implicit grant type commonly considered as simplified version of authorization code. In this grant type flow, the authorization server returns an access token directly when the user is authenticated, rather than issuing an authorization code first. This flow is intended to be used by user agent-based client. For example, single-page applications, which cannot keep a client secret because all of the application code and storage is easily accessible. Password grant flow exchanges a username and password for an access token directly. Since this requires the application to collect the user password, it must only be used by applications created by the service itself. For example, if you create native mobile application X and also its backend, use this grant type to get access on API. In password flow, application X is sending username and password to backend X. Backend X validates the credential, then when credential is valid, BackNX will contact authorization server to get access token. With this approach, client ID and client secret can only known by BackNX, not embedded in native application code. Native application uses access token to communicate with backend API. Since access token usually has limited validity, this flow can reduce client ID and client secret leak and are more secure. Alternatively, application can send username, password, and OAuth credential to OAuth server. OAuth server then calls backend API to validate username and password. If username and password is valid, OAuth server give access token to client, which in turn can be used to access the API. Client credentials is the simple screen type. In this flow, application directly exchange client ID and client secret with access token. Then the API access can use the access token. This table might help you to choose which screen type you should use. OAuth access token usually has limited validity time. Refresh flow is used to gain new access token when previous one is expired. That is why refresh flow sometimes not considered as OAuth flow.